Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Strong and Steady class here at Coco. I'm Jen. Let's get going. Let's start with our warm-ups with our arms. Working in our small circles, feeling the movement of our shoulder blades. Feeling the stillness and gentle engagement of our core as it holds our torso still. We're seated on our sit bones on our folding chair. Let's go ahead and change directions now, working through those circles. Good, okay. Now if you want to remain seated or standing to do these giant circles, opening up your chest even more. As always, I have a fun workout planned. We're going to introduce a new style of a format. The acronym is EMOM, E-M-O-M, which stands for every minute on the minute. So that is our rotation. That's when we're going to move on to the new exercise. During that minute that we're working, you are going to try to complete 20 repetitions of whatever the exercise is that I announced. Okay, and we're going to string together 5 minutes of work, so 5 exercises. And in that minute, you get 20 done, and then you get to use the rest of the time for rest. Ideally, you'll be able to complete 20 in a minute. Some things will be easier, some things might be more challenging to get 20 done. During that minute, I will lead up to the next exercise that we have coming. Okay, so there'll be no embedded transition times. All right, so we're gonna work or keep moving for 5 minutes and then we'll get a break. Okay, so we have 4 circuits we're gonna work through. And then we're gonna get on the ground somewhere in there and add in some core work, okay? So the structure is a little bit different than what we've done, but hopefully we'll have a good time. All right, couple more squats, and then we'll get set. Okay, all right, so I have 5 minutes set on my timer, 20 repetitions of each exercise. This first circuit, we're gonna go, and it is, first we'll do chair squats. So 20 chair squats. We can add dumbbells if we want on either side. I'm gonna go ahead and get that ready. The next exercise we'll move to is bent over reverse rows. So if you're using those dumbbells, we'll move right into the bent over reverse rows. Then we have a demi squat lateral raise. So we'll sit in our partial squat and we're gonna raise out to the side. Okay, so that's a tough movement. If you have variations in your weights, I would probably downgrade just a little bit because you might need something lighter for that than that which you do for the reverse row. Then we have elbow squeeze to press. Okay, we can be standing, demi squat, or sitting. Those are your options. And then finally, we have chair mountain climbers, okay? And we are going to do, instead of 20, we are going to do 40 because those are fast, right? So that is our goal. Okay, so with that said, let's get started. On the chair, get your dumbbells ready that you're gonna need. So chair and dumbbell. All right, 20 chair squats. Ready, steady, and go. Good, and remember, we're working without momentum for this chair squat. Seated on our sit bones and rising up. Good. 5. And we just might use up every bit of time here with this intentional work. 9 and 10. I'm at 30 seconds. Good. 14, 15, good. 16, dig those heels in. 17, 18, 19, I got one more. All right, that's our minute. Get bent over, reverse rows, elbows to the ceiling. 2, 3, 4, 5. Try not to pull from your arms. 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 more. Neutral spine, don't round. 4, 5. I got 5 more. We're gonna get some rest here. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, that's my 20. I got 15 seconds left. Now I've got demi squat lateral raise. Okay, so I'm finding my slightly lighter weights here for this work. All right, and I'm gonna sit in my demi squat. Weight in my heels, ready? Okay, raising your arms to the side. 3, 4, finding that isometric hold. 5, try to not tense up the neck. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, find your weight in your heels. 8, 9, I'm getting a good burn now. 10, woo, arms at my side. I got 10 seconds of rest. Okay, now I'm feeling a little tired. I think I'm gonna opt for my elbow squeeze to press on my fanny. All right, legs in parallel, ready. Squeeze, open, press. Squeeze, open, press. 3, 4, this compound movement takes time. 6, 7, keep those muscles under tension. 8, 9, and 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we got 5 seconds, and 5. Okay. Whew. All right, we're on our last minute. We're going right into those chair mountain climbers. All right, hands on either side. We have 40 of these. Ready, steady, go. 2, 3, and we're marching. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 1, 2, stay nice and stable. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and let's keep going. 2, 3, 4, 5, keep going. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We got 10 more. 1, 2, 3. Strong through the chest, strong through the armpits. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Okay, come out of that. Now, by the time we had those 40 pairs of mountain climbers, I could feel how active my core was to support my body. Good work. Now we get a minute of rest. So let's get our water and we'll get ourselves ready. Okay, round 2. And don't worry, I'm not rushing. I'm going to explain. And I'm going to put 5 minutes back on the clock. Okay. Again, we're staying with that same formula, every minute on the minute. We're going to do those front back punches, okay? So I can't recall if we did this in the last class, but I have no dumbbells right now, and I'm bent over and my arms are hanging from my shoulders and my palms are pointed back. So swinging arms in opposition, front to back. The arm that's out front, the palm goes down, and the arm that goes back, the palm goes up. We're gonna do those slow swings. Instead of drawing our elbows back to center with each one, we're going to just swing together and swing together, okay? So that's how we've evolved with that movement. Choose the right weight that's appropriate for you, given that we wanna stay stable in our torso. Okay, then we have squat to curl to press. Now that's gonna be challenging to get 20 done in a minute, all right? So the overriding principle is form over speed. All right, then we do chair hydrant circles. So we've done hydrants a couple of times utilizing the chair. So instead of just drawing our knee out to the side, instead we're going to draw big circles, and we're focusing on drawing those circles with our kneecap. Okay, so I want you to think about getting stable with your shoulders as you lean over on the chair, right? I'm trying to find the best way to view. I hate to show you my backside here, but okay, so I'm drawing a circle with my knee. So I'm working through a broader range of motion with my glutes, and it's a hip opener. You don't have to draw the biggest circles in the world, okay? Just focus on trying to get into the rhythm of drawing that circle. All right, so we'll go 10 on one leg and then 10 on the other. All right, and then we're gonna come back on our chair and do seated tricep extensions. So arms overhead, bend at the elbows, and straighten, bend and straighten for 20. So we'll get a good burn. Then we have lunge to front kick. Okay, so we will do 15 on each leg, okay? 15 lunge to front kick on each leg. And then that is round 2. Okay, you got it? All right, so get your dumbbells ready for our bent over front to back punch, followed by our squat to curl to press. Okay. All right, ready? 5 minutes are going. I'll keep you apprised of our minute intervals. Ready, steady, and go. 1, 2, and I'm going for sets. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now, if you want to just go with 20 total, that's 30 seconds, you get a break. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, that's our minute. Right into it. Chair, squat, curl, press, and down. Now we already know that it took us the full time to do our chair squats, and now we're adding in more. So we know we probably might be working for this full minute. Be strong. Engage your core. Slow down your pace if you need to. We have this followed by chair hydrant circles. Chair hydrant circles are gonna go faster than you think. So we'll get some rest time there. So you can do it. We have 10 more seconds here. We're not gonna get a big rest. We'll just get our chair set. All right, dumbbells down. Chair hydrant circles, hands on either side. Flamingo a leg. 1, drawing those circles. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, if you want, you can change directions on your circles if you're comfortable with this movement. 3, 4, 5. Switch legs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And switching directions. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, we're done. 20 seconds rest. Okay. Excellent work. Now we have our seated tricep extensions. So we are going to be seated on our sit bones. So find that butt meat. Move it around, find the bony part. All right. Dumbbells up and bend and straighten. 2, 3. Don't arch your back, zip your ribs. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, now you might be feeling the burn. Stay with it. 2, 3, 4. Stay soft on the tops of your shoulders. 6, 7, 8, 9. Last one here. 10. Lower the dumbbells with control. Awesome. All right, we still have 10 seconds to get ready for our lunge to front kick. Okay, so chairs out on the side. My right hand is down. All right, ready. I'm going to stick my right foot down and I'm going to lunge back with my left and front kick. 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 15. 3, 4, and 5. And 3, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, switching sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, here we go. 3, 2, squeeze that back butt. 3, 4, and 5. All right, good. Heart rate's up. Nice work, everyone. Okay, awesome. 2 down, 2 to go. Okay, so what is up next? We have a little bit more work. We're half done with our normal stuff. Okay, so we're gonna start with an air squat to lateral raise. So that means we're not going to use the chair, not getting as deeply. We're gonna air squat with hands together, and then lateral leg raise. Okay, so it is a little bit of a balancing act. If you need help with your balance, get the chair to the side and we'll work one side 10 and the other side 10. If you don't need the balance, then go without the chair. Then we have single leg hip hinge. Okay, so we've worked on this before from our split stance. Focusing on executing with the right muscle group. All right, split stance, that forward leg, the hamstring and glute on that leg are what's gonna pull us up out of that hinge, okay? So we'll have some time, 20 repetitions on each leg to get that working. All right, because we're gonna use 1 whole minute for that each leg. And then we're gonna sit in a demi squat All right, a lot of legs in this one, and do punches. All right, so lightweight, strong core. All right, so each pair is one, so punch, punch, all right? And then for our last round of cardio is a optional dumbbell power skip. All right, so a power skip, arm is up reaching for the ceiling. And if you wanted to add a dumbbell to add in a shoulder press, that would be a great way to take your workout to the next level on that item, okay? So that will be, again, 30 of those. Okay, so are you ready? I've got the time set. I am not going to use the chair for balance. If you need to, please do so. All right, so we have 20 of these guys, all right? Ready? 10 on each leg. All right, and go. Squat, 1. And I'm staying with the same leg to get a burn. 3. Now as I come to standing, I'm recognizing that I'm centering my body weight over that standing leg. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now switching. 1, and I'm palpating my oblique. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, all right, here we go. We're up to the next one. All right, so let's get in that split stance. Right leg forward, left leg back and straight. Right leg is bent, hands on hips. Melt neutral spine forward. Dig heel in, up. 2. Think about the back of that right leg. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All 20 of them here. 8, 9, and 10. 1, 2, 3. My toes are light. 4 on that right leg. 5, 6, 7. My heel is heavy. 8, 9, and 10. Okay, I'm switching. Right leg forward, knee bent, or left leg forward, knee bent. 1. Right leg back and is straight. Heavy left heel. 4. My shoulders and hips are in parallel. My low belly's nice and strong. 10. If you need to, give a little poke in that hamstring. Now we're working that front hamstring. It's my left. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Good. 8, 9, and 10. Okay, good work. Now we're in that demi squat punch. All right. So ready, I've got my dumbbells, demi squat, punch. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, we got 30 seconds of rest. That was a great EMOM. Okay, so now we're going to the dumbbell power skip. Okay, we got 30 of these bad boys. So I don't have a light weight here with me. So I'm going to walk over and get a lighter weight, okay? Because that's a lot of work. All right, so now I have lighter weights. All right, now remember, it's opposite knee to elbow going up. All right, we got 30 pairs. Ready, steady, go. 1, 2, And we are working on our balance. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And 1, 2, little isometric hold with the knee meeting the armpit. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Stay tall. And 2, 3, 4. Get those knees up. 5, almost there. 6, 7, 8, 9. Last one. And 10. Woo! Just in the nick of time, folks. Okay, good work. All right, here's our little break before we move on to round 4. So get some water here. Now, as I mentioned, or may have mentioned in the beginning, we're gonna do round 4 from the ground, okay? And we are going to do, round 4 is gonna be weightlifting, so we're gonna want dumbbells near us. But then round 5 is core work, okay? So we're gonna stay on the ground for the next little bit here. Okay, so it's handy having our folding chair if we need to use our folding chair to get to the ground, right? So I can use it and come down in my half kneel if I need to get down. And then I can bring both knees and come forward into my tabletop. Okay, but we're not gonna work in tabletop right now. We're gonna work on our backs, okay? So here's what we have going. We're gonna start with a glute bridge, 20 pulses, okay? So we're gonna be on our back with knees to the ceiling, feet on the ground. We'll transition for our second work to a glute bridge hold and add in chest fly, okay? So you'll want to have dumbbells handy for our chest fly work. All right, so get them positioned so they aren't all the way across the room. I'd hate for you to lose out on time. Okay, so I've got my dumbbells close, and then I have dumbbell pull-throughs. All right, so pull-throughs, we'll use a single dumbbell, and we'll be on our back, and we'll position it down by our hips. And we're gonna lengthen through our lats and let it go overhead only as far as our lats will allow. So maybe your biceps will meet your cheeks. And then you're gonna exhale and contract through your lats to draw it back down, okay? So it's a lengthen and contract movement with arms rigid. We're trying to reach our lats, okay? So just remember, that's the goal of that movement. Okay, so that's number 3. Then number 4, we're gonna do some side lying work, okay? So we're gonna do glutes and obliques, and we're gonna try and find a position that works for you, okay? So our side lying work will either be here on our side, and we can rest our head in the crook of our arm and work on our side lying crunches, okay? Or if we're able to come up onto our elbows under our armpit, and our lat is nice and tight. And we'll do that same side lying work on our elbow, but we can focus on not slumping our shoulder, right? And bringing our shoulder to our ear. We'll keep that nice separation, digging our elbow into the mat. So we have 20 of those on each side. Okay, I hope that made sense. All right, so I'm gonna get the timer started. I have dumbbells close, but I'm not using them yet for my glute bridge, unless you want added weight for your glute bridge, in which case you can rest them right in the crease, okay? So I grabbed a dumbbell, and I have it resting on my belly, a single dumbbell. Okay, now before I start the timer, I want you to find your place on the mat, okay? So your feet are down, and you have this nice neutral area in your lumbar spine where it's not pressing into the mat. It's just at its natural position. Your knees are parallel to your hips and your feet are parallel to your hips. So there's spacing there, okay? Then We're gonna press through our heels to lift our pelvis off the ground. Okay, and we're gonna sink and raise 20 times. Ready, steady, and go. Down and up, down and up. Good. Now don't overarch. We just want to come back up to a neutral. And activate hamstring, glutes, and low belly. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And 10 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you should be getting a nice burn in your glutes and hamstrings now. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, lower your buns to the ground. Now we're gonna find those dumbbells for your chest fly. Okay, and now you're gonna roll over and bring them into your chest. Okay, and we're gonna lift out of into your bridge, and you're gonna hold that position and then open and close your chest fly. 2, 3, 4, 5. Arms are rounded and rigid. 7, 8, 9. Focus on opening and closing the gate. And 1, 2, 3, 4. And you're probably feeling a good burn in your buns now because we're doubling up on the work. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, if you're finishing with me, lower your hips and lower the dumbbells to the chest. And then roll a dumbbell off to the side, keeping one for our next work, which is that pull through. Okay, grabbing it with 2 hands. It's down by our hips. Straighten your arms. Lift up over your chest. Lengthen over your head only so far as you can. Keeping your lats connected with the weight and loaded. Lengthen and contract to drop back to your hips. 5, 6. Keep your low belly nice and tight and your rib cage closed. Draw awareness to your low back. It should not be popping off the mat. Deepen your connection to your low belly and your zipped ribs. Good. 3, 4, 5. Stay with your imprint on the mat. 6, and I'm gonna run out of time. And 7, okay, dumbbell off to the side. Rolling over onto my side now. I'm going to be on my right side with my legs curled up like I'm going to sleep. Okay, I'm resting my head on my arm. All right, now, I'm gonna stay down like this for this first round. I'm gonna draw my elbow up, and now I'm gonna crunch oblique and glute, bringing the 2 together. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, my shoulders are remaining in parallel, and my hips are remaining in parallel. 8, 9, 10. 10 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, get the good burn. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, now we're gonna roll over to the other side. Okay, so do your little breakdance move. Okay, and I'm gonna stay down for now because this is the first time we're doing this. So I find my shoulders and hips square on the mat. Okay, all right, my legs are bent. I'm comfy, like I'm laying in bed. Okay, my top arm is my right arm and it's bent at the elbow. And I'm gonna draw them together, contracting glutes and obliques. Ready? 1, 2, 3. And your torso's nice and stable. We aren't rocking around, they're staying in parallel. 8, 9, and 10. 10 more. 1, 2, exhale, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, nice job. All right, good work. Okay, so if you have your water bottle handy, you can get a drink, but now we're moving on to our core work, okay? Now, I mentioned that we were gonna do this in a Tabata format, but I changed my mind, okay? We're instead going to start learning just a little bit about Mat Pilates, okay? And we're going to lay on the ground and do some work for our low belly, okay? Your low belly is arguably the most important part of our belly because it protects our low back, which many of us have a tendency to injure, okay? So we want to keep our spine as safe as we can. So everything that we do in strengthening our core is there to protect our spine, all right? Okay, so go ahead and lay back down on the mat or on your floor, okay? And our head is on the ground and making sure that you're preserving what your neutral spine is. So if it is not comfortable for you to rest on the ground like this without some support in your neck, give yourself the support you need. Use a little pillow to support the back of your neck and help it to hold up, okay? All right, so we have our head into the mat, we have our shoulders into the mat. Down we go to that base of our lumbar that's lifted a little bit so we could have a blueberry under there that we're not smushing. And we find our pelvis into the mat and our feet. And oh, by the way, let's have palms down. Okay, now as we work through our core exercises, the first thing we talk about is working through our breath. So we're gonna exhale, and that exhalation is what's gonna help us focus on our core activation. All right, we'll start with exhaling pelvic floor, then deepening our low belly, our innermost muscle layer, which is called your transverse abdominis. So pelvic floor to transverse, and then zipping the rib cage. So the muscles interior to your rib cage are your intercostal muscles. They help with your inhalation, exhalation process. And I want you to visualize contracting them close. So our ribs are flaring out and we're not arching our back, okay? Just the opposite. We're closing our ribs, deepening our low belly, okay? Pelvic floor, transverse rib cage, all in one exhale. Okay, now on the next exhale, we're gonna float our right leg off of the ground, drawing our knee up over our hip. And then exhale as we float it back down to the mat. Up and down, nice and slow. Up and down. Working on that deep low belly. Being mindful that I'm not arching my back and my low belly is strong. Exhale, drawing up, and exhale, returning to the ground. So I'm using my right leg, drawing it up and down. It's bent at the knee. It's a nice right angle as it's over my knee or over my hip. But I'm using my left hand to press on my low belly below my belly button to make sure it's nice and hard down there. Good, now let's switch to the left leg. So right leg returns, exhale. So I'm gonna palpate with my right hand, exhale, drawing that left leg over the hip, and exhale, return it to the ground. Imagine that the contraction of your belly muscles are what's drawing your knee up and over your hip. Use your mind's eye. Imagine that there's a string from your low belly to your knee. So you're not using your hip flexor. You're exhaling and pulling that knee up like a dumb waiter or like a trapdoor. Maybe one or two more. Okay, give yourself a little rest. Wiggle your legs a little bit. Okay, now we're gonna extend our legs out away from us, okay? And now I want you to bring your hands behind your head, but don't interlace them behind your head. Just have them sit gently behind your ears, okay? So you're like just tapping the back of your head with your fingertips. And then your elbows, I want you to lift so they're in your peripheral vision, okay? And we're gonna exhale into our low belly and contract with our back and float our head off the mat just a little bit. And hold the weight of your head in your hands and your lats, okay? So keeping your elbows in your peripheral, find the heavy weight of your head and release it into your hands and release it into your lat muscles, okay? Float them back down. Exhale. Okay, think about this work a little bit like a seesaw. As the head comes up, the low belly gets heavy. Good, and back down. Try and keep your legs dead, like you don't activate through them. And back down. Let's do 3 or 4 more of these. Float. Let the head go heavy in your hands. Deeply wrap your low belly and then float back down. Good. And one more. Good. Okay, now if you need to shake your arms out a little bit, we're going to continue that work with our arms behind our head. But now instead of just floating our head, we're actually going to do a little tiny, what you might know as a crunch. Okay, but it's not a traditional crunch in that we're trying to come all the way into a sit-up. Our rectus abdominis is our 6-pack muscle, and it runs up and down. And when we shorten that muscle and contract, its job is to bring the spine into flexion, into the forward plane, okay, the frontal plane. So we're going to do the same movement, same positioning, elbows slightly in your peripheral, lats pulling towards your hips. But now instead of just floating, we're going to deepen our exhale and curl up a little bit so we can see ahead instead of just at the ceiling. And we'll pause there and try and center our focus into that tension in our rectus abdominis and with a tight low belly, okay? All right, so we're back down at the ground. Exhale, low belly, float the head. Continue your exhale as you curl up ever so slightly to gaze ahead and back down. Pause at the top, find that tension, armpits pulling towards your hips, rectus abdominis, holding your spine, low belly, protecting your low back. Notice I said nothing about pulling from your hands. Good, nice and small movement. We want to find the burn in the right places. Lats pulling towards your hips, low belly nice and deep, rectus abdominis holding the weight of your spine, curling into flexion. Good, let's try one more. And all the way back down. Nice, okay. Now let's take a break from that work. Palms back down on the mat. Let's draw our knees back toward the ceiling. Okay, so our feet are both on the ground, palms down. Now, we're gonna lengthen one leg so it's extended out on the mat. Okay, so one leg straight, one leg's bent. Now, again, we want to preserve our nice, low, nice, tight low belly, okay? So we're gonna exhale and raise that leg that's laying on the mat and straight out, and we're gonna try and draw it straight up over our hip without arching our back, okay? So you have to be mindful because I can't watch you. Okay, exhale into that low belly. Leg draws up over the hip. And then exhale, low belly nice and tight as you lower it with control all the way to the ground. Let's continue. Each long breath that I take, I'm drawing the leg up and lowering the leg back down. The leg is like a free weight for my abs right now. You should have one knee up and one leg is straight. And that leg that is straight is the one that's floating up off the ground toward the ceiling and then floating back down with control. Remember our visualization, contracting through the abs to float the leg up. Last one on this side. Good, okay, now I'm gonna bend that knee. So my right knee's toward the ceiling. I'm gonna lengthen my left leg. Okay, now I'm palpating again. My low belly below my belly button is nice and tight and sinking down towards my spine. This is the best possible visual because as it's sinking down, it's actually going down toward the ground. Okay, all right, and my shoulders are stable in the mat and my hips are stable into the mat. Palms down will help you activate your lats if you press a little energy down, and that's good, okay? We want to maintain that neutral spine. All right, let's start with that exhale. Pelvic floor, transverse rib cage. Float the left leg up over the hip. Exhale, return back down. Good, you should be sensitive to whether your back is arching. If it's arching, create a slight bend in the knee. That will help bring more center of gravity back towards your midline, towards your belly button, and it'll make the work a little easier, but we need to always remember to protect our low back, okay? So do the work that's right for you. Exhale, draw up. Exhale, lower. Let's try 3 more. Good, last one. Exhale, low belly. Good, okay. Now draw that knee up. So both knees are up toward the ceiling. We're back to our original point. Now, as you're able, I'd like you to draw your knees to your chest. So feet will be off the ground. Reach up, wrap your arms around your legs. So now you've lifted your pelvis off of the mat and you're pressing your lumbar into the mat, okay? So we're rolling up into a tiny little ball. All right, getting a nice little stretch. Now I'd like you to release your legs, and as you're able, put your palms down at your sides and let your legs fall slowly over to the left side of your body. Okay, we're getting a little spinal rotation stretch here. Let them fall as far down as you're able, and extend your arms out towards your sides in a T, focusing on keeping your shoulder blades down into the mat. So if you can get them parallel to your shoulders, great, but if your shoulder blades are popping up, then move them down closer to your hips. so that you're in a position where you can keep your shoulder blades down, adding in a little rotation through your low back. I'm taking my left hand and placing it on my knees on the right side, on my right knee, and I'm applying gentle pressure to get just a little bit more stretch in. Good. Okay, now I'm going to roll back to center and then let my knees fall to my right side. And I want to imagine that I'm just nice and comfortable here, falling asleep. Okay, and I'm going to tee out my arms or position them away from my body such that my shoulder blades are down. And then I'm going to reach up with my right hand, placing it on my left knee, adding just a little pressure to get an extra stretch on this left side. Relaxing through my shoulder blades and my neck. Good. Now I'm going to roll back over onto my side, press my torso up off the mat, and return to kind of my quasi-seated position. All right. I hope you liked this little trip down Pilates road with our core this last 15 minutes. I really enjoyed it. I think that'll be a fun thing to do toward the end of our workout, help us work on our core, low belly, all the things that we need to do to get stronger and preserve our good health. Thanks for joining me, everyone. I look forward to seeing you Tuesday. Bye.